Hello. Someone joined. Oh, we have lots of audience today. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Summer. Hi Deepika. How are you? Hi Ravi. Hi Sudarshan. So we are going to talk about Buddhaditya yoga and Kemdrum yoga. Okay. So these are two very common yogas. Why I took them together is that we commonly see them in people's chart. These two yoga, Buddhaditya and Kemdrum. Okay. So let's take them one by one. First of all, Buddhaditya yoga. It is conjunction of Sun and Mercury together. Sun is Aditya, Mercury is Buddha. They both coming together is Buddhaditya yoga. Okay. Combination of Buddha and Aditya means combination of Sun and Mercury. We should see them as a why it is so common to have this yoga is because they can never be away from each other more than 23 degrees, 21 to 23. I am not sure about the exact degree, but they can never be away from each other more than 23 degree maximum, I think. Now a sign itself is 30-degree long. Okay. Now if you can't be away more than 23 degrees, that means for majority of time they are supposed to be in one house, right? They are supposed to stay in one house or one sign, because they can never be away more than 30 degrees or so. Okay. But it happens like right now Mercury is in Pisces and Sun is in Aquarius, so they are still in different signs, but degree wise they are still very close. Degree wise, Sun is at about 25 degree or so of Aquarius, and Mercury is at 4 degree of Pisces. So even degree wise there is a conjunction. This is called Sandhi conjunction, that although they are seen in different signs, but degree wise they are still within 10 degrees. So this is what happens with Buddhaditya yoga, and this is why it is most commonly seen in people's chart, that they are supposed to be together. Okay. Now the result is that uh, Buddha or Mercury represents our intellect, and Sun represents the light or the brightness. Okay. So they say that if Mercury and Sun are together, that means your intellect gets further light, it gets further brightened up due to the light of the Sun, because they are together. Okay. But if it is the case, okay, if it is the case that Sun Mercury conjunction or Buddhaditya yoga for everyone is bringing the intellect high, is making the person more intellectual, and it is found in 90% of the charts, then 90% of the population should be very intellectual. But we cannot see that, right? In this world, in this humanity, we cannot say that 90% of humanity is very highly intellectual. So there has to be something more rather than only this basic definition. So first of all, again the conjunction First of all, dignity matters. If Sun and Mercury both are in good dignity, then it is a good conjunction. Like Sun Mercury both are in Leo, or Sun Mercury both are in Virgo, then it is a very good Buddhaditya yoga. Then, uh, but if Sun Mercury both are in Scorpio, right? It is not a sign where Mercury likes to be. It is in the great enemy sign for Mercury, so it is not a very good, very powerful Buddhaditya yoga. Okay, so first of all, the dignity, the sign they are placed in, that matters. Then, in which house it is taking place. Okay, uh, again, the Kendra houses and Trikona houses are the most important houses. If Buddhaditya yoga is happening in these houses, then it can be considered as a strong yoga. But if it is happening in third house, sixth house, eighth, 12th, 10th, 11th, then these are Dusthana houses or Upachya houses. So it gives results after some delay in life, in person's 30s or 40s. Last thing is again that if uh, if person is not even going through its dasha, sun dasha or Mercury dasha, or whichever house they are sitting in, that house lord's dasha, if the person is not even going into that planet's dasha, then again it is not active, right? That Buddhaditya yoga is not active, and it cannot give much of the result. I am not saying that it is not giving any result at all. Result will be there, but it will not be up to the maximum intensity. Okay, then eh, it becomes important if the degree wise, okay, how close they are. Okay, now if Mercury is too close to sun, they say that Mercury is very habitual to the heat of the sun, and so it doesn't get combust. But as per my experience, I have Mercury around between within 2 degrees of sun. Okay, Mercury, I have sun at 23 degree and Mercury at 21 degree. Okay, so Mercury was very close to my sun, and if I remember well, till 30 years of age of my life, I was very introvert person. I rarely used to talk. Okay, now my whole work is like talking to the people. But in my early age, I was rarely talking to anyone. Okay, so I feel that Mercury gets combust. It is not that just because it is used to the heat of the sun, it will not get combust. That's what I mean to say. So if Mercury is too close to sun, within 1 or 2 degrees or 3 degrees, it may get combust. In that scenario, you will again get the result of this yoga with delay in life. Then it matters if sun has higher degree and or Mercury has higher degree. Okay, if let's say if sun is at 23 degree and Mercury is at 16 degree. Okay, uh, so what it means that if sun has higher degree, uh, or you can say sun has later degree. Okay, this is kind of funny, but it works. If sun is at later degree and Mercury is at earlier degree in a sign, Mercury represents your communication, sun represents your brain. So if let's say Mercury sun is at 23 degree, Mercury is at 16 or 15 degree, this person will speak first, then he will think about it, because communication is working first and then brain is working. So he will speak first, communicate first, and then his mind will think that, oh, what did I speak. Okay, but if it is a reverse situation, if sun is before and then comes Mercury, sun is at 15 degree and then you have Mercury at 17 or 19 degree, then first mind will work, first your brain will work, and then you will communicate. Okay, so it is kind of funny, but it works like this way. And then whichever sign, as we discussed, the sign is important, dignity is important, house are important, dasha are most important. But in the end, the degrees and which planet has having more impact on other, means in this case sun will have impact. Mercury is too feeble to make any impact on sun. So sun, in this Buddhaditya yoga, sun will always make an impact, but all other things become important to know if this is a strong Buddhaditya yoga or it is a weak Buddhaditya yoga. Buddhaditya yogas are everywhere. Okay, as I said, in 90% charts they are there, but it doesn't mean that 90% of the people are very intellectual. It can be it can give an intellectual person only when the person has this yoga and in right signs, in right houses. The person also goes through dashas at the right time, and it is better to have a mercury not combust. Okay, if mercury gets combust, it is very close to sun, then it is not a very powerful yoga. It will give results later in life. Also, if mercury is retrograde, okay, let's take this situation also, that sun can never get retrograde, but if mercury is retrograde, then also you will get the results with certain delay in life. Person will have to work on his communication and intellect for a long time, and then he will get the results. Okay, so this is the way Buddhaditya yoga works. uh, First of all, just to recap, it is sun mercury conjunction, which normally happens in 90% of the charts. Then it means that it should be in right houses, right sign, dignity wise, and then person should also go through right dasha, and the degree wise they should be far enough not to make mercury combust. If mercury is combust or retrograde, then you will get the results delayed. That's why many people can have this yoga, but it is not necessary that everyone is a highly intellectual person. Again, lots of other things get involved, like if you have another malefic planet sitting there, or if another malefic planet is aspecting sun and mercury, then things are okay. If another planet is aspecting which is malefic by nature on this yoga, then things are again troublesome. It is not that strong yoga. So all these things may make a difference between a good yoga, good Buddhaditya yoga, and an average Buddhaditya yoga. We all can have this yoga, but lots of things get involved in getting the best results of this yoga. Then second yoga which we are going to cover is Kemdrum yoga. Okay, it is also one of the troublesome. I will say this is troublesome yoga. But if it is utilized properly, it can be a very beneficial one also. Kemdrum yoga happens when in anyone's chart moon is alone in any house. It has no planet before it, it has no planet with it in that house, and it has no planet after it. Means, suppose moon is in 5th house in someone's chart, in let's say Taurus sign, moon in Taurus in 5th house, Capricorn ascendant. So the Kemdrum yoga will happen if there is no planet in Aries in 4th house, no planet with moon in 5th house Taurus, and no planet in other this 6th house Gemini. Okay, so moon is completely alone. Okay, so what happens, that moon is mind wants some support, some stability. Okay, it wants some attachment to something. It wants to link itself, connect itself to something. And when moon is totally alone, it is not getting any support from any planet anywhere, right? It has no planet before it, it has no planet with it, it has no planet after it. So moon is not getting any support, any connection, any link from anywhere. So the mind becomes wayward. Okay. uh, it is also interpreted as a lonely mind, a person who loves to be alone. Okay. Because the mind is, the moon is completely alone, so these people like to be alone. Then it is like in now whichever planet is with moon, either these are called moon yogas also. If you go on my website or anywhere in Google, if you search for moon yogas, you will find some yogas for, related with moon specifically. It is one of the yogas, a Kemdrum yoga. So just so like if someone has a moon with Jupiter, which creates this Gajkesri yoga, so mind gets attached or connection with the higher knowledge, religion, philosophy. Person can follow that and mind will get some support, some stability, some peace. If moon is with Venus, or it is surrounded by Venus on either house, mind gets support from creativity, love, romance and all. Person finds connection there. But when moon is completely alone in any house or any sign, now a person doesn't know what to do. Okay, now the house where it is sitting, that house becomes important. Like in our example, Capricorn ascendant, moon is in the fifth house, Taurus. So the fifth house related things are important for this moon. Person should connect himself with fifth house related things. uh, that is going to help this moon to stabilize, to find some peace. Okay. Second thing, if moon is in earth sign, it is still better. Okay. If moon is in earth sign, like it is in Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn, earth will provide the balance, earth will provide the stability. It is still a very better, I won't say excellent, but better. Excellent can be in the situation of moon in Taurus, where it is exalted. Okay. So it is still better when moon is in earth sign, because earth signs will provide the stability. Okay, fine. Then let's like in my chart also, I have Kemdrum yoga, moon in Taurus in 7th house. 7th house is business. So my mind found its peace when I started interacting with people, dealing with people directly, and I entered into this business. Before that I didn't know what to do. Okay. So where whichever house moon is in, that house related things one needs to connect to itself. Then mind finds some peace. But let's say other significances of Kemdrum yoga. First of all, they would love to be isolated. They won't like any company. They have very specific people, very precise number of people whom they want to interact with. Okay, they don't want to interact with the whole world. Second thing, that now when you are alone, okay, so now when you are alone, uh, it is like what you will do when you are alone. You will think about some creative things. Something will go into your mind. So this Kemdrum yoga is very good for creative pursuits. Okay, any creative pursuits means your hobbies, talents, research, education. If you are interested in sports, any creative pursuit, this can be an excellent yoga for that, because person likes to be alone. Now when he is alone, he is supposed to work on his creativity, right? It can become troublesome when moon is alone in signs like Scorpio, where it is debilitated and it is getting further aspects of malefic planets. In that case, now you are sitting alone and planning of next scam. Okay, planning of next controversial thing you are going to do. Okay, so that's where it becomes troublesome, when moon has a bad dignity plus malefic aspect. Only bad dignity may not do that much of harm. Like if moon is in Scorpio or in enemy sign, it may not do that much of harm. But if it gets further aspects from malefic planets, then it can be really troublesome. Okay, so this is what happens with Kemdrum yoga. It is excellent for any creative pursuits. Okay, if someone has moon in Kemdrum yoga, then that person would love to be alone, isolated from everyone else. And it makes them very very creative, because when you are isolated, you will work on your creative pursuits only. It may make someone not inclined towards relationship also. Okay, they say that normally they live a lonely life, but they want to live a lonely life. Okay, I understand, because moon is alone, they won't mind living that lonely life. Okay, so it may in some circumstances it may make someone not too much inclined towards relationship. If it happens, it is fine. If it is not happening, then he is not desperate for that. Okay, so this is what happens with moon in Kemdrum yoga. Again, dignity matters, the houses matters. If moon is exalted, it is still better, although it is in Kemdrum yoga. But if it is moon is exalted in a own sign, in friendly signs, it is still better. Person will be interested in researching about things and being creative. But problem will come when moon is like debilitated, it is getting further aspects, and it is involved in dusthana houses. That's when it can be troublesome. Okay, again, for any malefic impact or any issue related with moon, meditation is the only solution. If anything can help you in making your moon or mind better, then it is only meditation. Okay, so just to recap about Kemdrum yoga, it happens when there is no planet in the house before moon placed. If there is no planet in the house where moon is placed, and there is no planet in the house after moon is placed. Okay, means moon is completely alone. In that scenario, the person likes to live alone. He likes to be isolated. He doesn't like to interact with people much. And in that situation, you are going to work on your creativity. If it is a moon in very good dignity, in friendly sign, own sign, exaltation, then person will work on his creativity, any kind of creative pursuits. But if moon is debilitated, or it is getting further aspects of malefic planets, then it can be troublesome. Okay, then person needs to work really hard. Meditation can help him a lot in making this moon stable. Okay, now there is another thing that people say that even if it is getting aspect of any planet, like Saturn is aspecting. If Saturn is aspecting moon, it is or any planet. Okay, so they say that it is not a Kemdrum yoga anymore, because there is an impact of another planet. Okay, but I would consider that that moon is still in Kemdrum yoga. Like in my case, Saturn is aspecting moon. So likewise, if Mars is aspecting moon, Sun is aspecting moon, Mercury is aspecting moon, they say the definition given on online world is that it is no more a Kemdrum yoga because moon is getting impact of another planet. But I would consider it as Kemdrum yoga because I have Saturn aspect on moon, and I know that I have gone through the process of Kemdrum yoga when I was like I like to be completely alone and isolated. I don't didn't like to interact much with people. Now, if we just add one more thing, is that uh, like as I always say, and as many astrologers say, that everything is an addition. Okay, nothing cancels anything. So we can see the results of both the things, both the yogas in my chart. Both the yogas are there. I have Sun Mercury also, Buddhaditya yoga also, and I have Kemdrum yoga also. I have Mercury combust also. So in initial life I was very introvert. Now my whole work is about communication and counseling people, which requires little bit of intellect. I don't say I have much intellect, but it requires little bit of intellect. Then I have Moon in Kemdrum yoga. It still makes me, I am fine being alone. Okay, I'm not desperate to get involved or interact with the people or masses. If someone is interacting, then I'm fine replying or responding. But if people are not interested, I am not dying for it. Okay, so we can say that both the yogas have played their roles. Okay, in at different times of life. Okay, so this is what I always say, and many other astrologers also say, that everything is an addition. If anything is there in your chart, understand that if any planet is sitting in any house, in any sign, in any nakshatra, in any pada, at any degree, it will give you its impact at some point of time in life. It is not useless there. Okay, you cannot say that this thing is completely nullified or cancelled, or it has no impact. Nothing like that. It is there. That means it has impact. It will give its impact at the right time. Okay, so it is always better to be inclusive in astrology. Don't leave anything, just include it, and you will be in better position in predicting things. If you leave it, then you are at risk. Okay, if you are not considering, now let's take this example. I have Kemdrum yoga, moon in 7th house, Taurus, alone, fine, and Saturn's aspect. Now if I follow that logic, that Saturn is aspecting, now it is not a Kemdrum yoga, then I am taking a big risk, because I am not considering a certain concept of astrology by leaving it out. Now I am taking a big risk because my predictions won't consider Kemdrum yoga. That's why it is better to consider, be inclusive, include it, and then consider it. There is no harm in including it, right? It is there. Kemdrum yoga is there. We cannot deny it. It is just that it is modified in a different way due to aspect of some other planet. So at least I will always be inclusive. I will always consider everything. I will not like to exclude anything. That will give including everything will give me another point of consideration towards my predictions. Okay, so let's see if there is any question. Please please add view on Sun Mercury in 7th house, 7th Rashi. Sun Mercury in Libra in 7th house. Sun is your career, Mercury is business, communication, counseling. I don't know your dashas and anything, but it shows that you are supposed, the person, whomsoever this person is, he is supposed to be in his own business. That's the only place he will get some authority in life. Okay, so this Sun Mercury in 7th house Libra can give you can give this person good authority from business. You can also say, as long as he is in job environment, as long as he is working in job setup, he may not get proper support from authority figures. Okay, bosses and all colleagues, he may not get, and that will add to his stress. He will continuously find people who are going to hurt his ego. Okay, so it is better for him to make one time solution and get into his own business. Okay, good morning, thank you. My moon in 6th house, I am Pisces ascendant. Okay, moon in Leo. uh, I don't know other planetary placements, but moon in Leo in Pisces, in 6th house. Whenever moon is in 6th house, mind feels kind of burdened by conflicts and obstacles in life. It is generic for almost everyone that they always feel that they have more conflicts to deal with, they have more obstacles to deal with in life. Okay, so that is what moon in 6th house shows. Moon in Leo will show someone who has a very creative mind, who can follow his creative pursuits in his daily work routine. Moon also rules your 5th house. Okay, so it can be something related to education or taking care of people, nourishing people, healthcare. You can be involved into these things, but overall it also shows that a person thinks that person's mother has a difficult life, because moon is in 6th house. Person's mother have lots of difficulties and obstacles in her life. Okay, that's why the person himself feels that, okay, fine, I have so many obstacles. uh, in a way, there is a connection between the way our mind feels and the life our mother lives. Okay, there is a connection. So this is what happens with moon in 6th house in Leo. Any further question? Yeah, I didn't travel. Last session I told that I will be traveling, but Mercury retrograde cancelled our traveling plan again. Okay, so we are still planning for our next plan to travel. Let's see. Any further question? Leo ascendant Sun Mercury placed in 3rd house in Libra sign. Do you see Buddhaditya yoga? Yes, it is a Buddhaditya yoga, but it will again give you results only in your business side of life. Okay, if If business, if this person is doing business, then he will get the best of the results. Again, it is like sun is debilitated. So if this person is trying to do a job, then it may not help that much. Person has to do some business. Okay. Oh, somehow these comments are not showing here. Just a second. Taurus ascendant, Sun, Rahu, Saturn. Oh, bhai, I can't take all these planets together. Taurus ascendant, Sun, Rahu, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus placed in fourth house, Leo sign. Do you see any yoga in this scenario? There are many yogas. When so many planets are there in one house and one sign, then there will be many yogas, right? So we can't say only one yoga in this case. Okay. Sagittarius ascendant, Sun, Mercury are in the ascendant. Sun 16 degree, Mercury 9 degree. Uh, Sun, Mercury ascendant, Sun. Yeah, it is a Buddhaditya yoga. Again, it is in Sagittarius sign, so you will get the best benefits of this yoga only in matters of higher education. Higher education, teaching, preaching, counseling, all those things will give you good benefits of this yoga. Okay. Then Taurus ascendant, moon is placed in the seventh house, Scorpio sign, no planets in sixth and eighth. Do you see Kemdrum yoga? What kind of impacts this individual go through in life? Yes, it is a Kemdrum yoga, and uh, uh, if there is no other malefic impact on this moon, okay, then then it is still fine. This person can do well. uh, this person can do well in any kind of research oriented matter. Seventh house is involved, so person will still have to uh, interact with other people. He still has to negotiate with other people, deal with them. Okay. But it is still a yoga where he can deal with other people based on his research work. But if there is a further impact of malefic planets, then it is troublesome. Okay. How will be the ninth house, Mercury, Sun, mean Lagna? Ninth house, mean Lagna, Scorpio. Uh, Again, Sun, Mercury, Buddhaditya yoga is there. It is in Scorpio, not a very friendly sign, but the person can get good results by the ninth house related things and Scorpio related things, that is research work and higher education. If person gets himself involved into these things, then person can get good results of this yoga. Okay, I'm not seeing these comments in my mobile, so I have to look at my FB page. Okay, I hope I am covering all the comments. uh, Moon is placed in 7th high. This one I covered. This is also I covered. During last session, you told about PKY and SKY. My sun is Libra ascendant, Mars combustor, 7th lord is in between Sun and Saturn combust. Both Sun and Saturn are in 7th house. So 7th house lord is in PKY in 7th house. Mars combust. Okay. 7th house, Sun, Mars, Saturn conjunction is there. Okay. But 7th house itself is in SKY. how come? Okay, in between Venus and Mercury in sixth house and Moon in, okay, fine, eighth house Taurus. Will this help him resolve the issues of seventh house? In relationship matters, he will have issues. Okay, Sun, Saturn, Mars together in relationship matters, he will face some heat. Okay, but in business matters, in becoming authority for himself, he can still gain things. Okay, this Shubh Kartari Yoga, understand that Venus, Mercury, and Moon are two gentle planets to make any impact on planets like Sun, Saturn, and Mars. Okay, so I don't think that they are going to make any impact if Venus is in the sixth house, Mercury in the eighth house, and seventh house is empty, then I would say that this is a good Shubhkartari Yoga. If Venus in sixth house, Moon in the eighth house, and Mercury is in the seventh house, then I will say that it is a very good Shubh Kartari Yoga. But if you have three strong malefics sitting in the seventh house, then this Shubh Kartari Yoga is not of much help because of the strong malefic nature of the planets involved in between. Okay. Moon with Ketu in the ninth house in Taurus sign, is it Kemdrum Yoga? How is it? They consider they say that even if Rahu Ketu are there with the moon, it is still causing a Kemdrum Yoga. But I would say that if moon is with anything, any planet, okay, it is getting linked to something. Okay, it is getting attached or connected with something. So even if it is Rahu or Ketu, it is going to make some connection with moon, and you are going to get the result of that connection of even Rahu Ketu. Okay, so I won't consider it as a Kemdrum Yoga. That's what I want to say. When does yogas activate in one's chart? Is it during Mahadasha, Antardasha, or transit periods? Best is if you are going through Mahadasha of those planets. Okay, like in Kemdrum Yoga, Moon Mahadasha. In Sun Mercury Yoga, either Sun Mahadasha or Mercury Mahadasha. Okay. If someone is going through Sun Mahadasha and Mercury Antardasha, then it is a full activation of that Buddhaditya Yoga. Okay. Then it is also about the sign. It is also about the sign which they are involved in. Like Sun Mercury both in Cancer, then Moon's Dasha also can activate Sun Mercury and this yoga. Okay, so this is the thing with activation of yogas. Okay, let's see. I don't know why is not showing. I have to like see from both the sides on my Facebook page through my laptop and then in mobile also. I have to reply in mobile. So this is one. Mercury retrograde. What are the top 3 Shubh yogas and top 3 bad yogas in astrology? We cannot say anything as totally good or totally bad. Okay. I don't think there is anything like completely beneficial and completely malefic. Okay. Even the most malefic of conjunction can give you some good results. Like I have Rahu Saturn in Leo. I think that the amount of efforts I have put in my creative pursuits is because of that Rahu Saturn. but it gave me bad results in other departments of life. Okay, so I don't think there is anything called completely good or completely bad. Okay, so even the best of the yogas, Gaj Kesri yoga, can also give you some malefic impact. Even the worst of the yogas can or conjunction can give you some beneficial things. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Any further question? I don't think so. Let me see if anything is left from comments. Oh, 29, 23 more. I think I covered many of them. Uh, my moon is in the sixth house. Moon in Leo in Magha. Three. I have covered it. It is creative pursuits plus some trouble, some in the sixth house. Sun Mercury placed in third house Libra. Again, the same thing, that your own business is going to give you benefits of this yoga. uh, Libra ascendant, Sun Saturn Mercury in ninth house. Mercury is not combust, but Saturn is combust. Is this a good or weak yoga? Anything where Saturn gets involved, you will get the results after mid 30s or so. Okay, so you have to wait till that time. After that, it can become a good yoga. I do have same as you. Okay, thank you. Uh, during last session, you told yeah, PKY, SKY we covered. Taurus ascendant, moon in this one I cannot cover, where the 3-4 planets are there in this fourth house in Leo. Taurus ascendant, moon is placed in seventh house Scorpio. No planets. Do you see the impact? Yes, I see. It is a Kemdrum yoga. How will be the ninth house Mercury Sun Moon Lagna? Go into the research and higher education kind of field, and you will get the best result of this Buddhaditya yoga. Yeah, I have covered that. This is also covered. Uh, Yoga activation. What are the top three Shubh yoga? Okay, fine. I think I covered everything. Great. So I think we are done. Thank you. Thanks for watching. And thanks for commenting and asking questions. Let's see what we can cover next time. Bye. Take care. Happy Sunday. If anyone has any further comment, then they are free to make. I will be more than happy to reply. Okay, bye.